Ben, you okay?
This man was preparing to renovate his newly purchased house, but he discovered a mummified corpse inside the walls. When the cadaver dogs arrived at the scene, they surprisingly couldn't find their bearings. The reason was that the house was filled with mummified bodies everywhere. They were all young and petite women. Their deaths spanned across 2 decades. They had all been carefully processed. The organs weren't removed like real mummies, but the bodies had been dehydrated before being wrapped, so there was no obvious smell here. Soon the cadaver dogs found 2 more bodies around the exterior of the house. These 2 mummified corpses were processed the same way as those inside the house, but these 2 had died less than a year ago. The previous owners of the house were a reclusive couple. They had built this house decades ago. The 2 had never associated with anyone all along. The husband Carl had passed away a few years ago. Meanwhile, the wife Dorothy had been sent to a nursing home due to mental confusion. This perfectly matched the timeline of the victims' deaths inside the house. They were indeed the serial killers who murdered the 7 women in the house. But in the past year they were no longer capable of committing crimes. The 2 mummified bodies outside couldn't have been their doing, so there was clearly another active killer in this case. And this killer must have had a special relationship with this couple. He was familiar with their early killings, and was trying to imitate these methods. The victims he chose had the same characteristics as those the couple selected, only the age was different. They were middle-aged women. Dorothy committed suicide after police questioning. The autopsy report showed she had given birth before. The mummified bodies outside the house lacked the obvious feminine aspects. Maybe Dorothy had a son, and this son inherited his legacy after the patriarch died. Dorothy's suicide was to protect her son, but then a strange woman appeared. She admitted she was Carl and Dorothy's daughter, but she had run away from home many years ago. She had never witnessed her parents committing crimes. It turned out Carl was only trying to comfort Dorothy by attempting to kidnap other girls to replace their lost daughter. They had no son. The current unknown suspect was actually their grandson. The daughter had given birth to a child before running away from home. This child grew up with 2 psychotic killers. After Carl died, the task of comforting Dorothy fell to him. His intelligence was limited. The people he kidnapped were no longer replacements for the young daughter in Dorothy's memory, but replacements for his mother.
Sing me a song.
What?
I'm sad.
Hush, little baby.